Hello children, still we are in the fourth lesson of your geography book and we are in the last chapter, that's the facing a disaster. Man cannot prevent natural disasters completely, yes, but their effect can be minimized. Disaster management is important for it. The basic steps for disaster management are preparedness, response and recovery. Putala, we can't prevent from natural disasters completely anyway, but if we have a good preparedness and the way we are response and the recovery, these three concepts are really important. So then we can, if we are aware about these kind of three concepts, so we can reduce the effect of the disaster. So following examples show how we should respond to natural disasters shown above according to the disaster management cycle. If we go to the first one, okay, before that I will explain this: preparedness, response, recovery. This is the cycle. These three are interconnected like a chain. So if I go to the first one, preparedness. Okay, so here first of all, can you remember? I think you all were not those days, especially in tsunami season. So I think you all were not in this world even, but here in the government, from the government, especially like that kind of tsunami, and there are various kinds of disasters. So they are giving some announcement before it's happened. Okay, so here what we have to do is we have to get ready for that, how to prevent from that. So we have to go for the safe areas. So likewise we are calling the preparedness, we have to prepare for that. Identify the hazardous zones and moving away from them. Can you remember? I think you all have watched that from internet. There are so many various kinds of videos they have released, especially that tsunami incident. So some people even they did not care about that incident, and then when the waves also disappeared, so people entered to the sea. Okay, then suddenly they all disappeared after that incident. So here what we have to do is we have to really pay our attention, especially we have to aware about the government announcements and all. We have to conscious on them. So make people aware of the disaster, place of disaster and period when disaster could occur. Protect the forest cover, especially if you are living in mountain areas, especially in rainy days. Yeah, especially have you seen in Candy, Hatton, and those kind of Norelia, those kind of hilly areas. The some people are living, and here, especially when the governments are giving some precautions, you have to aware about that, and you have to go to the safest areas. And especially I'm talking about the protect the forest cover means Putala. So normally when there are a lot of trees, they are especially in mountain areas, they are holding the soil. Okay, there won't be a soil erosion, especially if there are soil erosion, but it will not make any damages. Okay, so here how to protect the forest cover, especially in mountain or hilly areas. Protect the catchment areas. Fix lightning conductors to the buildings, especially nowadays we all are using internet and all. Here there are a lot of electrical equipments also. We have to fix the lightning conductors to the buildings. That's very important to protect from lightning and thunderbolts. Do not construct buildings under the high tension electric lines. This is very important. Some people they are not caring enough of these kind of things, especially do not construct buildings under high tension electric lines means Putala. Surely when there is rainy days, thunderbolts and the lightning, so those things are easily catching for those kind of buildings under the high tension electric lines. Build houses that resist disasters. And the next one, be alert about tsunami condition, warning when an earthquake occurred in an adjoining zone. This is very important, as I said you already. So here there are precautions are given, we have to aware about that. Response during disasters. Now here this is the pre-situation. Then after that, when it is happening, response during the disaster. How do we respond? Collect victims to the safety places. So you have to go to the safety places, attempt to protect lives and property, not to protect your property. Okay, you don't care about the property, just think how to protect your lives. Face the disaster strongly, even though they are a putala. After the disaster, some people they are living, they are spending their whole life as the orphan people, orphanages. Okay, because they lost their whole family, their relatives and all. Okay, so anyway, we have to face the disaster strongly from our physically and mentally stable should be important. Provide medical assistance and treatments to the victims. They are have the Red Cross, especially army, those kind of people, especially three forces also coming to help. They are giving medical assistance and treatments for the people who are facing those kind of disasters. Provide food and beverages to the refugees. This is very important. If you are aware about that Buravi cyclone, there are some people they went for some places, especially safety places, and the people, government also they give beverages to the refugees. Move away from the buildings where accidents could occur. Move away from the buildings where accident could occur. We have to move those kind of places. Avoid consuming polluted and contaminated food means Bhutala. When there is a disaster ongoing, if we eat those kind of polluted and contaminated food, so surely we will have just like diarrhea, cholera and those kind of diseases, means we are facing some kind of struggle in those situations. Recovery. How to recover? This is the last situation. Okay. Identify problems. There are some people, refugees, they are facing mentally and physically deterioration. So have to recover them. Establish emergency disaster centers. There are some people they can face some accidents, especially injuries also. So there should be emergency disaster centers. Introduce disaster kits, life-saving kits. Yeah, this is very important. Helmets have you seen, and to protect your backbone and all, there are another kind of kits. So if you just go through the internet also, you can observe these kind of kits. So here they have, especially life-saving kits should be there. Okay, so especially provide relief to the victims. So here their government is providing lot of reliefs to these kind of victims. Conduct health programs. Yeah, plan the activities to restore the mental health of the victims. As I said you already, there are a lot of refugees, especially orphanages. They lost their family, close people, especially relations and all. So sometimes they are facing lot of mental deterioration. For that kind of people, especially they have to give, they need a mental health, especially. There are some activities you can see, Putala. Name 5 natural hazards. You know how to name them. Explain the difference between the natural hazards and disasters. Complete the following table with reference to the disasters that occur in your region. You just think about this, and you can find these kind of things, especially if you are living in dry zone, the drought and how it occur, and especially flood. Okay, and earthquake, tsunami, and there are various kind of. You just pay your attention and you can just answer for this question. Complete the following table. Now here you can see flood reasons. You have to write at least 2 reasons, methods of minimizing the damages. And the last one is global climatic changes. Long-term or short-term changes that happen in the general climatic pattern is known as the climatic changes. So Putala, global climatic changes means long-term or short-term changes. It's happened. So in the general climate pattern, it is known as the climatic changes. Let's go to the lesson again to know more about this. It is seen that though It look a long period of changes in the climate in the past. They occur in a short period of time at present. Just like drought, harsh, cold seasons, floods, cyclones, etc. can be identified as the results of these changes. Putala, some days you have the experiences of these kind of things. Some days those are severe drought, especially as Sri Lankans. Last year also we faced farmers complained because they could not do cultivations during the drought. Harsh cold season, especially as Sri Lankans, only the people who are living in rural area, they are facing this kind of experience, but we do not face, no. So here, but here there are some cold seasons, especially not only Sri Lanka, there are some countries, especially Canada and all. So here, harsh cold seasons, they are facing floods, cyclones. So those can be identified as the results of these changes. Such climatic changes that take place globally have influenced Sri Lanka too. This is not only according to Sri Lanka, it's the globally. It changes take place in globally. So reasons for climatic changes, these are the changes: excessive burning of fossil fuel. Yeah, this is very important. Destructions of forest. Nowadays people are really selfish, and they are being very selfish, and they are vanishing the forest cover. Warming of the atmosphere. This is very important because nowadays people are doing nuclear explosions, and there are factories and all, factory emissions and all they are releasing. In that case, warming of the atmosphere. Burning of agro and industrial waste. This is very important. Volcanic eruptions. So these are the reasons for climatic changes. Now let's go to the next part, that is how climatic changes affect Sri Lanka. Now we are going to pay our attention how it affects to Sri Lanka. Destructions of coastal ecosystems due to the rise of sea level. Yeah. Now we are managing the coastal ecosystems in Bhutan, especially there are mangroves and all we are destroying. So for the economical purposes, like inundations of coastal lands, yeah, pollution of drinking water, okay, increase in coastal erosion. In that case, when we are distracting the ecosystem, these are happening, okay. Inundations of coastal lands, pollution of drinking water, yeah, increase in coastal erosion, breaking down of fishing industry and destructions of coastal industries, all are vanishing because of the destructions of coastal ecosystem. And destructions caused by heavy rains, okay, floods and earth slips. Now these are the destructions caused by heavy rains, floods and earth slips. Yeah, it's happening, okay. So here, loss of lives and property, okay. So here, now as we discussed already, so loss of lives and property, especially from earth slips and earthquakes and all, also loss of lives and property, destructions of infrastructure facilities, these reductions of agro harvest. So in that case, people can't work, report on the jobs, especially can't go to school. Our life is totally getting down. Downfall can be seen. So here these are the destructions caused by heavy rains, incessant rains. Destructions due to the increase of atmospheric temperature. Okay, this is, it's nowadays it's happening, okay. So occurrence of droughts in here, destructions due to the increase of atmospheric temperature means Butala, when we are releasing factory emissions, nuclear explosions and all, especially burning polythene and all those kind of things, here the atmospheric temperature is increasing. Occurrence of droughts, scarcity of water means lack of water, decreasing harvest, changes in agricultural patterns and types of crops. Yeah, it's changes. Increase the spreading of diseases mostly that could not be diagnosed easily. Yeah. So here doctors also, they are getting confused how it is spread, what kind of a disease they are trying to identify it, because all are happening because of the atmospheric temperature. Spread of the skin, eye and the respiratory diseases. This is happening nowadays also. Some people, they are allergic to dust and their skin rashes also coming, eye problems also coming, because of the ultraviolet rays also there's a problem. because of this kind of atmospheric temperature. Occurrence of mental stress. Have you noted that when it is too hot, people are having mental stress because they are really getting angry, and they don't like to associate with each other, they are ignoring. So here, because of the atmospheric temperature. Emergence of crisis connected to the production and use of energy sources. Increase in use of air conditioned equipment and fans due to the increase in temperature. Yes, Putala. So here, so how do we use the energy sources? So we have to, when there is increased temperature, we have to use air conditions, especially the people who are living in Colombo and those kind of areas. Then you have the experiences, Putala, because most of the people, 100%, they are using these kind of fans and the air conditioners because uh, here high temperature, because of the temperature. Slowing down of the generation of hydroelectricity. Yeah, slowing down the generation of hydroelectricity nowadays. Actually, last year we faced those kind of incident, and we stayed many times. That means we spent lot of gloomy nights during night. Okay, so because of the generation here, they could not provide hydroelectricity normally as the people in Sri Lanka. So we are using hydroelectricity. So if there is a scarcity of water, we can't generate hydroelectricity. Increase of the demand of electricity and thermal power energy. So these are the things that we have to get the support from the energy sources. Actions taken to minimize the climatic changes. Okay, how do we take actions to minimize the climatic changes? Minimize the emission of the unfavorable gases like carbon dioxide in the fields of industry, agriculture, and transport, especially. Have you noted, especially normally when there is an urban area, if there is an urban area, we feel very hot because in the atmosphere it consists of the carbon dioxide. Especially there are a lot of factories, so these kind of things, they are using a lot of dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a hot gas, so here it increases the climatic changes, means it prevails hot climate. Minimize deforestation. No, when if you feel very hot, you just go to a shade of a tree, you feel very cool, no? So here, if it consists of a good forest cover, so there won't be any temperature. Establish forest reservoirs. Intensify the use of biogases with less effect on the environment. Enact limits to the emission of the greenhouse gases that increase the global warming. This is very important nowadays, especially there are fridges and refrigerators also, they have mentioned about CFC free. Especially Putala, here the emission of greenhouse gases. So here, to protect the ozone layer, so here we have to reduce the greenhouses gases. Here that's very important to protect the ozone layer. Solid waste management, this is very important nowadays also, I have noted, because especially in each and every area they are collected garbages in a different manner, just like food items and the digestible things in a separate manner, and the polythene and those are in another way. So it's very good way. Passed laws to stop unauthorized constructions, especially on mountain slopes and those kind of things. There are cabana houses also can be seen actually. So there are those kind of unauthorized constructions. There should be laws to stop those kind of unauthorized constructions, especially on mountain areas. Okay, make people aware, work collaboratively with other countries in the world, especially this is very important, because I have noted some children are throwing polythenes and all. They are just when they are traveling with their school bus or some other any transport, so they are throwing just like polythene bags and all. They are not caring about the environment. So what we have to do is we have to maintain the self-discipline, and we have to work collaboratively with other countries in the world. So what are the reasons for the global climatic changes? You know how to do this. State 3 environmental damages that occur due to the increase in global warming. So here Putala, I finished the 4th lesson of your book. Let's go to the next lesson, and you can download my other videos, and there I have mentioned my link in this video, and you can watch the rest of parts of this video. See you soon, and we'll meet from the 5th lesson of your book.